Tyre pressures are of critical importance to the performance of a supercar. And you may have heard in our coverage an engineer in conversation with a driver talking about whether the pressures have come up. Now, engineers can correlate pressure and temperature, and that's how they know whether the tyres are optimised to be able to do their job. And here's how it works. In all four corners of the car, there are these transmitters in the wheel rims which are projecting information and telling the engineer precisely what the pressures are in all four corners. And they are talking to these receiver antennas at the top of the wheel arches. Now, if you come up the back of the car, I'll show you how this information gets translated. See this little antenna device here? It's parked up in the centre of the rear firewall, and it's receiving information from the two rear wheel rims. And then conversely, under an area just beneath where the gear lever would be, in the bell housing transmission tunnel area, there's another receiver that's getting information from the two front wheel rims. And they in turn are taking info to this big black box, and that's where everything electronic comes together and the data is fed. And it comes back out via telemetry, which is like a phone signal or a radio signal back to the engineers. Now, it's critically important because Supercars mandates minimum tyre pressures, depending on the location, 17, 19, 21 pounds per square inch. If you go below those values, you're breaking the rules, you cop a penalty. But perhaps of even more importance is if the tyre overinflates and these things start to get north of 30, 31, 32 PSI, the tyre skates around because you're operating on the crown of the tyre, effectively giving yourself a smaller tyre, which you can't do. So, tyre pressures, critically important to the performance of a supercar.